To continue where we left off, we have a comic that shows off Sleuther and Cloudjumper. Hiccup's mom talks about how only one of Toothless's babies ended up surviving. After a presentation with Shattermaster, Dagger, being the idiot that he is, asks if he could keep it, to which Astrid and Hiccup's mom just respond with no in annoyance. Out of nowhere, Astrid points out that Stormfly notices something wrong is going on. In the background, you may see a familiar face. We zoom in on her nostrils twitching before switching the screen to a Toothless jump scare. Now we move on to the next post. It's here we learn that Snotlout and Hookfang have become the main defenders of Berk, and that their fear of these infected dragons is taking a toll on them. Allow me to read the rest of this page. The horns of Spiteloud's helm hang low on his son's head. He used to be so prideful, but now he speaks about nothing but the number of infected beasts that were spotted and that were slain. The people of Berk rarely sleep these days, but Snotlout seems to avoid it like it's a crime. Sometimes I can hear him having nightmares. The latter half of this video showcases an infected Hookfang, but seeing his scared normal self and the text at the end reveals that this was only a dream. We then learn more about the twins in the following post. I'll read this part out loud as well. First, let's focus in on Roughnut. Roughnut is a shell of herself now. I haven't seen her smile since she lost Barf to the infection. It got even worse since we realized some dragons could be saved right afterwards. I sometimes check on Belch, but he seems terrified. I understand why. He's struggling to move, but Roughnut and Toughnut make sure he eats and drinks. For now, we need to focus on a cure for our tidal dragons. Next up is Toughnut. Toughnut, like his sister, has lost his smile for the most part. I can tell he's trying to cheer us up, but even he knows the devastation caused by this disease can't be consoled. He's been helping Gothy and me try to find new cures for this illness, but as each day passes and more people and more dragons are lost, he smiles less and less. I miss the pranks him and Roughnut used to play. I pray that Hiccup gets back soon and in one piece. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a transparent Luffy behind where it says One Piece. That's funny as fuck. On a post titled A New Post Soon, we get another journal entry. Here's what it has to say. I've been studying the parasites again. Every time I do, I get more and more confused. Apparently, they're a little more complex than what I first thought. Their metamorphosis is longer and much stranger as well, but at least with this new information, I'm 70% sure that much larger dragons can't attack if they become infected due to their weight. The last sentence begins with dragons like, before it cuts off and fades to a screen that just says, they're back. Now let's focus in on our last post, a comic focusing on Fishlegs. Fishlegs is writing in his journal, looking more beefed up than usual. He gets interrupted as his name gets called out. In the next screen, Gobber tries to tell Fishlegs that something is going on with Hiccup. It then fades to black. Fishlegs goes to see him, and it zooms in on his face to show off a look of horror. Is Hiccup dead? Is he badly injured? Or perhaps he's infected? So I fucking hate infection AUs, and I'm sure you guys are tired of them too, but the How to Train Your Dragon one holds a special place in my heart. To repeat some points I made in the first video, I adore the art style. It's grimdark. The humans look uncanny, and the infected dragons look metal as fuck. The story isn't overtly edgy or anything like that. It's just What if we took the zombie dinosaur virus from Primal and put it into How to Train Your Dragon? Not only is this concept both cool and terrifying, it's a love letter to more mature fans who grew up with the franchise. Plus, the storytelling with both the comics and the journal entries is both fun and engaging. It also serves the story well, and it's quite refreshing, as most infection AUs either have the status screens or sliding PNGs. I'm glad we're picking up on the Hiccup side of things, considering how long it's been since we've last seen him. Of course, that first part is pretty short, so there really isn't a lot to add. It's just fun to see Dagger mess around and be his idiotic self, with the rest of the cast being annoyed with him. As dark as this whole situation is, we have to remember that How to Train Your Dragon is a kid's cartoon with whimsical characters and comedic moments. Plus, it helps lighten up the mood and makes things a bit more fun. That all ends with the buildup of Stormfly noticing that something is wrong, and Toothless sneaking up on the gang before the eventual jump scare. Now, who got killed if anyone did? These cliffhangers, man. Though I think that just proves our artist knows that less is more when it comes to writing horror stories, and that they also know how to make us feel excited for future parts. I know a common piece of criticism towards the comic parts of AU is that it's too dark to the point we can't see anything. I'll have to disagree with that because the darkness is perfect for the tone of this story and helps keep things hidden and scarier. Plus, it helps our artist focus more on the details. To move on to the journal entries on the characters, it's a bit depressing to see all the comic relief characters be all sad and traumatized. I think it really shows how heavy the infection has weighed down on our precious characters. They may be fine physically, but emotionally, they aren't there anymore. I think their designs are pretty cool. They kind of remind me of Berserk characters. Cue Guts' theme. I honestly hated Snotlout in the movies, but this AU may redeem him for me. And of course, 2 more questions. Who's back in that journal entry we watched? And what the hell happened to Hiccup? I am hoping he is okay, but knowing how Sneeb operates, he's probably beyond fucked up right now. The journal entry that wasn't finished may imply that the kaiju level dragons may be infected. Yeah, they're fucked. Can we also talk about Fishlegs? He's just aura. From the small amount of content we got, this was great. It's clearer that the stakes are getting higher for our characters as the infected dragons become a bigger threat and our Viking cast deal with some even bigger inner demons. I'm not going to act like this AU's peak fiction because it really isn't, but for an independent fan project, this is good stuff. I know some of you guys may be a bit disappointed with how little content we got after however many months. And yeah, I get that. I'm honestly surprised that this AU is still going on because I would have thought they dropped it, considering that infection AUs are becoming a dying trend and that most AU artists have moved on from their respective works. So I do appreciate seeing these new parts. That also brings up another point. There are clearly some time gaps in between posts of this AU. Not only does a project like this take time, but Sneeb has a life of their own and can't fully commit 24/7. I know all of you guys love this AU and want to see more. Trust me, I do too. But I kindly ask you guys to respect Sneeb Snop's time and to not spam them asking for the next part. If they were to take a massive break, or even drop this project entirely, I'd have no problem with that, and I'd wish them the best. It's been quite a while since I've made an AU video, especially considering how much more time I've put into videos, and the fact that I have other things outside my channel as well. Yet it's clear, AU videos are what the algorithm favors more, and fortunately for us, there was enough content to make a sequel to my favorite infection AU video I've made. Granted, it had a couple reading and editing errors, but it was still a fun video that hit 1 million. With that being said, I'm going to take a break from those bigger videos and focus in on smaller videos so that I can boost up my numbers and give you guys more content to watch. There will be some AUs you've seen other channels cover just with my spin on them, AUs you've probably never heard of, and perhaps some shorter non-AU videos. Also, it's pretty clear, the bigger videos are a gamble. Sometimes they'll do well, sometimes they won't, so I want to have some certified bangers before I go back to those long documentaries again. Go support Sneeb Snop on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Their pages will be shown on screen, and their links will be in the description. Not only do they have the actual AU, but they also have some behind the scenes footage, a couple shit posts, and some cool art not related to the AU. Again, shout out to Sneeb for creating and continuing this infection AU. And thank you, the audience, for sticking around for this long. I wonder if Hoodie Dude is watching. Take care of yourselves, and of course, as usual, please have yourselves a damn good one.